Mission 1, Quarry Line Quandary. Welcome to London Victoria. As the quarry lines are closed today, we'll drive along the main line along with everyone else and hope we won't run into too much traffic. So hey there, Drawyah here, and welcome to Train Spot 2, welcome to Rush Hour, and welcome to London Commuter. So this is the first scenario that we have on offer today, the first of 6 that have been provided this run, and we find ourselves right now at London Victoria, platform 13. So we'll drive today Gatwick Express service between here and Gatwick. We'll jump in the cab, set the train up, and have a look at what this route has for us to offer. So close the door, jump to our seats, and get ourselves ready to drive. Set the master key to on, move the reverser into the neutral position, set the headlights to daytime running, and unlock the doors on the right hand side. So the 387 is very similar to the 377 in that, for the most part, functionality wise, it's very much the same. The interior is different, so the interior is built for more luggage space in mind, and there are a few modifications that allow the train to travel. I believe it's a slightly higher top speed, but for the most part, it's a very similar train, and very capable one at that. So we'll jump in the cab, and we shall get ourselves now ready to depart. So we'll close the doors, jump into the seats. Got another minute or so to actually need to close the door, so we'll give it a moment just to look around. And as you can see, London Victoria looking very full indeed. What I do quite like already is actually the use of logos in Victoria. So London Terminal is part of this one team set up where all the tocs and drivers and staff and all that work for essentially the same group. But yeah, overall, in terms of detailing modelling, it's a very nice station at that. Yeah, so the concourse, got the odd beamed roof, a few shops dotted around as well. I like the sound of barriers as well, the beeping as passengers go through. I like it so far, I like it. Also, just behind there, you can't really see it, the camera stops if you're going too far, but though there'll be the southeastern section. So we're right now in the southern section, southeastern to our left hand side. And so in terms of operators too, Victoria at the moment, so you have got Southern and Gatwick Express, although admittedly Gatwick Express no longer operating at the moment. I don't know if it's a temporary thing or if it's going to be permanent through COVID, but we'll see how that goes. But Southern and Gatwick Express, and then you have Southeastern also operate service out here as well. Right, set the reverser into the forward position. And apply power to get moving. Next station, Gatwick Airport. It's basically there about half an hour or so. Fingers crossed, should be a rather smooth journey, so we'll keep an eye on the speed limits as well. So on the departure, we're going to leave at about 20 miles per hour, up to 40 once we leave the station platforms. And once again, I am driving with the rail driver unit, rail driver controller, so my controller a bit more on hand with the console as opposed to directly on the sim. Now yeah, presumably the Wi-Fi wasn't working there because we're on a bit of a power cut. So there's a few gaps in the track just outside of Victoria. In fact, this bit's a good example here. Because all the junction works and points and all that, essentially they're going to be giant. There's going to be gaps in the track where tracks and points need to cross over. And so essentially, no power can hit the train in those sections. As soon as we clear the points, power should resume and train will continue without any problems. And one thing I like about the old extra units is that they are built for both third rail and catenary capabilities. In fact, the big difference between the 377 and 387 is that these trains are dual power, so you can use both catenary and third rail. 377's, one that's coming over here actually, you flick in the box at the top, there's no system, no power, no nothing. So there's no over catenary capability as opposed to the dual voltage 3.8s. I'm going to pick up the speed now to 40 miles per hour. You can just spot Battersea Power Station in the background there, home for the new underground Battersea Power Station, the latest extension of the Northern Line. So actually it's on the first day. Not quite as early as a lot of people who the videos and all that, but definitely worth a trip out on this first day. Also got to be very careful about wheel slipping. Don't be putting too much power on initially. The train just become a bit of a slip inside on the way out. At the London Railway the other day when I went for a volunteer service there was one service where we had a bit of a bout of rain, and the next thing you know next service I'm driving, getting a purchase up the hill. Definitely took a bit of time. Wasn't quite running as fast as we normally do, but we'll just about manage it. Essentially, it's a case of kill the power. I've got to do now, going too fast. Kill the power and just slowly adjust your speed to not go too excessive over. Well, not going over, but not going too slowly to the point you go to a standstill. So there's like a limit of 8 on that section. It's probably about 3 or 4 miles per hour. Alright, so far so good. Train is running smoothly. In terms of frame rate, we're getting about 48 to 50 at the moment, so looking very smooth from the front end. So far, very positive about this route. We did the live stream yesterday, our first look at the Brighton Main Line. Overall, for the most part, I think people are actually quite pleased with the route. It looks good. Trains feel pretty good. And so, yeah, we'll take it from there, I guess. About 22 miles for our first stop. We are going downhill slightly, so again, just need to adjust our braking ever so slightly. But nothing excessive. About half a mile, we'll go up to 60 miles per hour now. And yes, you can also hear the Armstrong Powerhouse sounds in use as well. So this service today, we are going as far as Gatwick Airport. In reality, the service goes as far as Brighton. Essentially, with Gatwick Express services, the service patterns are rather simple. Now, there's 3 stations: London Victoria, Gatwick Airport, and Brighton, and vice versa. These trains will occasionally make stops at other stations, not very often, but they occasionally do. Passing through Clapham Junction now. Actually, Clapham Junction is a station where about 1 train an hour, or at least a train every 30 minutes, will call on the Gatwick Express services. But they're not the most frequent for stopping. And as for Gatwick Airport itself, it's served by Great Western Railway. They have a 166 shuttle between Gatwick and I believe it's Great Western via Reigate. So the Reigate branch on Train Sim does exist, and therefore we can drive Great Western trains up and down that as part of the Train Simulator layout options. You have Southern, of course, 377s. You also have Gatwick Express, 387s. You then have Thameslink, of course, with the Class 700 units. And they go from... Generally, they go via London Bridge down to Brighton. They can go directly from Blackfriars also to Gatwick, and then those trains stop at East Croydon along the way. So you have got a bit of varied service out of Gatwick, and for the most part, all bar Thameslink have been catered for in the old London Commuter routes. So during the live stream yesterday, we did drive the old Great Western service as well. That, for me, very pleasing, because I do love our Great Western trains. I've got a thing for networkers, and so to see the networkers still get a bit of love in Train Sim worlds, just day and age, just... I don't know, I like it a lot. I like it a lot. But otherwise, so far so good. We are maintaining speed, just small adjustments throughout. Got 20 miles to go now until we arrive, so plenty of time ahead of us. Just going to leave train throttle position 2, just so we don't lose too much speed on the uphill gradient climb here. So it increases, so now apply more power. Just a reminder that with over 1,400 services, these lines are busy. and you're getting a lot of trains on these tracks throughout the service, so especially a lot of AI traffic, especially a lot of AI services, and with the increased passenger numbers of rush hour as well, yeah, just expect to see things a whole lot busier than have been in previous train sim mod iterations. Because that's one thing a lot of people are talking about in train sim, that passenger numbers are always light, platforms seemed empty even during rush hour, and so essentially what Dovetail have done is they've multiplied everything by 10. Train services, passenger counts on platforms and all that. Still a bit limited on console, that's just down to hardware limitations, but PC especially, you do get the full effect of it, and I do adore it. But so far, train sim mod has been fantastic. And again, I love that online sign you get on the electric units as well. When you're travelling at high speed, a bit more power. Actually, you don't need to put too much power in since we are going downhill again. So far so good. So we are down the fast line. Down fast line, direction of Brighton. Again up ahead, we've got another southern service crossing over. If you have a look at the map, of course, just an idea of all the junctions, how they cross over one another. So you've got Victoria up north there. You have Clapham Junction here. That's going to be the depot at... I think it's just called Victoria Train Care, but I'm sure there's another name for it, which I can't quite remember. Over here, that's going to be... I think it's Morden Depot, this one? Or Wimbledon, perhaps? I must admit, Southern's not my my best knowledge routes in the world. Then also we'll have East Croydon later on. Try and spot East Croydon. That's Gatwick Airport just there. That I believe East Croydon there. Yeah, it's a very odd line, a lot of junctions, a lot of different lines for us to take. Also, Reigate branch is this one just here. No, I lied, sorry. Reigate is... must be. No, I'm fairly sure that's the Reigate station there, because that's on a junction just... in fact, I can use this many, can I? Go to map. So, yeah, I'm not crazy. That is Reigate station. So you got Reigate, Red Hill... So Great Western Trains go to Red Hill and then reverse out at Reigate. East Croydon, was I correct on that one? I was... yeah, just south of Selhurst, got East Croydon. Clapham Junction, Battersea Sidings Station. That's it, Battersea Sidings. That's the one I'm looking at. And it's Selhurst, sorry, not more than Selhurst Depot, just on the line. Got so East Croydon, South Croydon, Purley Oaks. And then you've got to change down to Gatwick Airport, Gatwick Sidings, Crawley, Three Bridges, Haywards Heath, and then Witherfield, Burgess Hill, Hassocks, Preston Park, and Brighton. So, a lot of variation in this route. Let's get back on the speed there slightly. So we'll leave the master control position 1 again, just to get a bit more of the cruise speed going on the both uphill bit track and of course the wet track. Wet track never great for high speed trains. You do lose a fair bit of momentum, little grip on the line. So that's kind of the big thing with this scenario. One, keep an eye on signals because it's just such a busy line, and two, make sure you keep to your speed limits. You don't want to be going too fast or too slow timekeeping is very crucial with London Commuter. Or, in this case, going too fast. Missed the speed limit change there, down to 60, down to 45, about 1 mile. So we've just passed through Selhurst now. A few more cuts there as we go through breaks in the third rail. And just up ahead, we'll now pass through East Croydon and South Croydon. East Croydon, of course, being the main station, I guess, here in Croydon. So it's the big station. A lot of trains pass through here. A lot of services stop. It's home to Thameslink, Southern, London Overground. Nope, sorry, Overground's West Croydon, is it not? Sorry, there's too many Croydon stations. No, sorry, ignore that. Overground is West Croydon. South Croydon is Southern, Thameslink, and yeah, of course, Gatwick Express. I'm sure there's one more TOC that uses line, but obviously they've slipped my mind. I'm sure it's not Overground. I'm sure it's not. It's not Southeastern. Southeastern only uses East Croydon for diversions. I know that as a fact. Must be one more. Is it Tramlink? It might be Tramlink out of East Croydon. Not directly in the station itself, but just outside the station. I know trams do reach Croydon. I know for a fact you can change there's like a platform you change at West Croydon. I'm fairly sure East Croydon has changed as well for the trams out on the road level. I'm gonna have to go study my train maps at some point, I guess. Yeah, just past East Croydon now, and that was kind of the last. See, this is South Croydon. That's kind of the last major station now until we reach. Well, it would be Redhill, would it? It stops raining, so I'm going to kill the wipers now. And speed limit up to 80 was that. Up to 90 I think actually, so leave the throttle on full. And well, for the most part, leave them full now until we reach a mile or so from Gatwick, and start slowing down from there. Now, the audio samples, redone since Armstrong Powerhouse, started doing more of that for Trains and World. Really, really good this. I mean, for me, it just feels like you're on an electric-style train, which I do take fairly frequently into the south of England. I do go to Brighton every so often. I do go to Gatwick Airport every so often. These guys know I fly all the time. So, yeah, whenever I take a southern train, this very much sounds like what I'm expecting to hear. Speaking of southern, I don't think I've actually got any more. I was being a Gatwick even. I don't think any more flights out of this year. I've got a few out of Heathrow. Got 2 flights out of Heathrow. No. 1 flight out of Heathrow. 1 flight out of Stansted, so I'll be on Great Anglia service soon, Stansted Express. And 2 out of Luton, so bit of a mix coming up. But Gatwick, I've got no more flights out this year. Going to start slowing down now. Down to 70 miles per hour. And we're just over halfway there to Gatwick now. Just over halfway there. Right, so the signal point is there, it's up, so I can check the junction here, high-speed junction of course. Cross over to the express line. Essentially, it takes us on a slightly different bit of track to the east of the main line. Actually, it's the other way around. Sorry, no. This is the main line, and then the express line is the other one. So this one has a few stations on the side. There's two lines. You have the express track, which avoids two stations and this bit, and then you have the main line, which we're on right now, which has platforms at both stops. So we are on the normal commuter line at the moment, the main line. Thameslink, of course, take the express. So that's actually probably where the mix is. Thameslink Express, GTX and Southern will stop. And on Wednesday morning, spotted some GTX at Paddington Station. So when I took the sleeper service night Riviera from Penzance to London, there's some old Gatwick Express train cars in use on the old Heathrow Express. So yes, you can now call them X-GTX. X-Gatwick Express. But for the most part, these 387 units, they now operate on Greater Northern, also owned by GTR. So Go for Thames Railway, GTR, they own Thameslink, Southern and Greater Northern, and Gatwick Express. With COVID, with all the flights being cancelled and all that, they've decided to stop doing Gatwick Express services because there was no point having express trains to an airport that nobody's going to anymore. So stopped doing those. And so what we now have is just Southern, Thameslink, Greater Northern. Greater Northern retired the... Oops, AWS. Greater Northern then retired the 365 units in favour of the 378s, these ones. And then from there, of course, Southeastern, also formerly of, well, I say formerly, at the moment, at the point of recording, this is still a part of Govia, but on the 17th midnight, so 18th, they'll then go into the Operator Last Resort. So a bit of a change in that mix-up again. But for the most part, all the train services bar South... Again, I say bar Southeastern. Give it 2 weeks. All the services on this line, bar Southeastern trains and Great Western trains, are operated by GTR. Alright, it's a single yellow aspects. Whoops. Didn't quite want to go into the emergency brake setting. I forget how sensitive the the rail driver can be at sometimes. Okay, well, we've accidentally hit the emergency brakes. We'll just come to a halt and then gently go up from there. Very sensitive, the rail driver. I do adore it. There are some occasions where the notches could just perhaps be a bit tweaked. At some point, I actually want to look at the what do you call it? What's the creator's name? There's the networker handle and the other modern train handle set up. They're sold on the Alan Thompson website. I can't remember the guy's name who creates them. TS controllers. I'd love to try out their hardware at some point because so far it's looking fantastic. It's not cheap, but in terms of realism, it's virtually as close as you can get. Now, I really like the fact we didn't come to a halt there, but rather we slowed down the emergency brake to easily 4 miles per hour, and therefore just about avoided any real slowdown. Still seeing yellow aspects, so we're going to be cautious on that. Line speed drops down to 70 very shortly. We're not going to go anywhere near that. By about 10 minutes travel, 8 miles. 50 odds should do us quite nicely for the rest of this journey. Not a very busy train, I must admit. You can tell this was under a knockdown. As I say, Gatwick Express trains were all empty. The only people who really rode these were those who want to get from Victoria to Brighton fast, because these are by far the quickest way to get there on an express train, but they're also the most expensive ticket option. We're passing through a green aspects now, so the editor cleared for us. You had the bing. The high pitch bing at least. Yeah, so far, so good. We'll pick up the speed again to about 70 odd miles per hour. We won't go too much faster than that. But at the very least, get some speed going just so we can clear up some of the time between us and Gatwick. Passing through, I believe this is Red Hill. Yes, this is Red Hill. I'm going to go down to 30 now. You can see the signal sets to change points on the left. So it needs to go down to 30. So we can now change the lines over. Alright, once the train's cleared, line speed up to 90. Full throttle, we should now be clear of the conflicts. There should be no more trains in front of us to stop for a little while. If we look at the map, inbound service just there. Trains stationary at Gatwick Airport, and I believe that's about it really. It's now a clear line between us and our destination. It's got about 5 miles, 5 minutes. As long as we're doing over 60 miles per hour, we will be arriving on time. Yeah, I've got to say, in terms of the variety that is from Victoria to Gatwick, it does look rather good. I mean, I compare it to, of course, my own journeys to Gatwick Airport. Gatwick I do quite a bit. No, sorry, never been to East Croydon actually, I've never exited station there. I've certainly been to Brighton. Brighton's looking rather good as well. And the viaducts as well. So as we get past Gatwick Airport, there's a viaduct, I can't remember the name of it, that crosses over towards the south of England. That modelling spectacular as well. I mean, the view from top of it looks spot on to what you see in real life. One of the prettiest parts of this train sim I've seen so far, I must admit. 2 miles to go now. W aspects, going to slow down to 60 now. If you get yellow aspects, you are recommended to slow down to about 6 miles per hour. Proceed no faster than that. That way, if you do start approaching a red, you're not going too fast, so you can slow down for it. Not going too slow either, allows you to clear any things in front of you. Although we know on this occasion it's a signal because we're approaching our terminus, destination. Ooh, aeroplane. I was not expecting that on the inbound, I must admit. I was not expecting to see that. Oh, focus, Drawyah, you're on a inbound to a station. Half a mile to go, 60 miles per hour. Down to 30, he's got another set of points to cross over to the left. Ooh, aeroplane. Oh my word, that was childish of me. Trying to do that as a passenger of an aircraft coming into lands, that's another rather good one. Also, back when we still, we still do Microsoft Flights and Streams. When we did Flights and Streams to Gatwick, it was a bonus when the train's passing in front of the runway, making the approaches and lands. There you go. Another aircraft inbounds. Didn't spot any landing gear, I must admit. Hopefully not going to be you never know, could be a go around. Right, let's focus now on bringing our train to our halt. Riding an 8-car set, you can tell by the fact we have 8 carriages on our display there. So, bring it right up to the end of the platform. Alright, that'll do. And doors are released. And there we have it. Welcome to Gatwick Airport. That's our service there, 10:30 Gatwick Airport on time. A Gatwick Express service formed of 8 coaches. I believe it had before there the actual position train as well, so it's between Victoria and Gatwick. Admittedly now it's here at Gatwick, it's just arrived. There you go, this service terminates here. There you go, terminates here. So from London Victoria, there we go. I do really like some of these updates Train Squad in recent weeks. Really has brought this platform to life. Oop, can you aircraft company inbound? Oh no, there are landing gear. Very nice. Right, just double check that the train is clear. No one's against the train, that's fine. We can now close the doors. Perfect. Shut down train, so set the reverser to off. Set the master key to off. And disembark from the train. Not bad, eh? Not bad at all. Thank you. hopefully the Quarry Lines won't remain closed for too long, and normal service can be resumed. Let's see how you did. So yeah, something about the express lines earlier. The express lines, I presume that's the Quarry Line. Okay, the bit we have to divert and never go through the stopping main line. Right, overall, not looking too bad. Got ourselves a gold medal, which was good to see. Took 33 minutes 39 seconds, drove 26 miles, and walked about 68 yards. Level 87 in the profile, level 3 on London Commuter, level 3 on the 387, and arrived at 2 minutes early to Gatwick with a pretty decent run overall. A few minor speed incursions, but for the most part, not looking too bad. So, yeah, that brings us to the end of the first scenario on the London Commuter. So, yeah, next time I'll be rerouted. We'll be doing that soon. I need to figure out the schedule for this. Admittedly, I haven't thought it out yet. So, I'm going to record the videos and then sort out the schedule later. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the watch. If you did, please leave a like. Do subscribe on this already. Thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you later for some more Train to Mod action. Take care, have a good one, and bye-bye.